Hey gardeners, this is Celeste Scott with UT Extension in Madison County, and we are kind of catching up on some of our gardener's tool shed classes. That very last one in our series on drying flowers, we had to postpone it, and so today we are here in person with one of our Madison County Master Gardeners, Miss Susan Lucky. We are here in her garden, and we're just going to highlight several plants of hers, that she grows from seeds that are pretty easily grown from seed, and that can be used for drying. So we're going to talk about some different ways to do that, how to accomplish it, and so we're excited to be here with y'all today, and we're just going to kind of hop in on the tour. We'll be walking around the garden. If you have any questions, be sure to type them there in the comment section, and we will get to them, okay? All right. Okay, so Miss Susan, tell us a little bit about what you do right here in this garden area.
Are you headed toward the Globe?
Yes,
Amaranth?
we're going towards the Globe Amaranthus here.
This is one that's really, really easy to grow from seed. All you've got to do is take some of the older blooms and let them dry, and then they will make 1,000 seeds.
Yes, they certainly do.
And they're in pink and white. And there's purple over here.
Oh, purple. That dark purple is one of my favorites here.
And there's several shades of pink and lavenders.
And
you can also get some that are carmine and red.
Oh, yes.
They don't dry quite as well.
Okay, that's good to know.
These are tighter and will last longer.
Okay. And I'm trying to kind of get back so y'all can see the growth habit. Now this is several plants kind of, grouped in this area.
This is probably maybe 6 plants. It's not really a lot.
Mm-hmm. So with these, do you usually, I know you save a lot of seed, but do you usually let these kind of reseed in place, or is this something that you plant here like purposely?
They will reseed sometimes in place, and sometimes they don't. So I always save seeds.
Okay.
And like it seems like this year I don't have many purple. Well, I'm going to plant purple next year because I want more purple ones.
Let's get up close to those purples since they are one of our favorites. And y'all can see we have some pollinator activity all over these. We've got some moths. There's I've seen a few sulfur butterflies here. I think I saw a painted lady. I've even spotted a few bees. So they are still getting busy with it, if you will. Let me try to get a good shot. The sun is behind us, and so my body is creating quite a bit of shade on the screen here. Look how pretty that is. And the seeds, I know we did a class on a seed collection a few weeks ago, but the seeds of these Globe Amaranth, they're buried down inside each of these individual florets. And so when they get dry enough, you just give them a good little shake and they'll pop right out. Little bitty black seeds, right?
Well, they're really kind of straw colored.
Straw colored, okay.
Because those will kind of fade when they dry.
There we go.
But I still can tell, which ones are my purple and my pink.
Mm-hmm.
Or white. And there's lots of celotias, coxcombs, and all of this wind has really done a number on them. They're laying down. I love this one right here, and that's why it's falling down, but in that one, a beautiful color.
Oh, this is a gorgeous celosia.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a pinky, kind of a light pink color.
Mm-hmm.
Look how
pretty.
pretty.
Kind of orange when they're new.
That's what I was thinking, kind of pink fading, or orange fading to pink. Let me get up close. Isn't that pretty? And so these are the same. When you collect the seed from them, you just want to let them get good and dry. Each one of those florets will have a seed buried down in it. And these actually are black.
Little bitty black, tiny. You're going to have, if you ever plant them, you will always have them.
You will always have them. And look, here's another wheat type celosia growing behind it. And this one has that more magenta type color. The newest blooms obviously have the most vibrant color.
Here's one that's got more tone to it.
Oh, let me come over here to this one.
Just step on that.
So these are seed grown. She saves her seeds, so there's a lot of variation in the genetics. So you can see on this same plant,
There's lots of seeds right here.
yes, we have one that started out looking wheat type and then ended up with a coxcomb or a brain on it.
These actually, if you have them long enough, they do.
Revert back to that.
Well, they just, as they age on the plant, they start making a cone.
Oh, okay. I see. Oh, look, here's some other ones. Here's a good example of one that's just kind of started. Right there.
And the bees and everything are out here.
And all these things that we've talked about so far today are great for drying. You dry the celoshas just like you do the amaranth, right?
Yes. This is a salvia. I'm going to move her up.
Okay.
This is a salvia I got from Jason.
Oh, yay.
And it's a different one, and they do dry. It's just now started blooming. It's a cross between the sagebush and another kind.
Okay.
So it's really been a pretty, and it's gonna get real big like the bush sage.
And you've got a bush sage here too, and it's probably in bloom, so we can kind of highlight that one. Now, it shatters a little bit more than that one.
And it is not a seed grown.
Okay.
It is propagated, yes.
Beautiful.
I have a few straw flowers. An animal or the wind has knocked them down. But they are an easy plant, except that they need more water.
Okay.
And they need a lot of fertilizer. And they also need something to hold them up.
Oh, good point.
But I didn't get many colors this year.
But
that's
so
beautiful.
pretty.
Isn't that beautiful?
I've never tried to grow the straw flower because I've just heard that they can be difficult. But I always tell folks who have questions about it, I say, well, I know a lady who grows them and she does really good with it.
Can you hear the straw
Yes.
sound?
So pretty. And some people call them everlastings because that is what they're going to look like, folks. They keep their color pretty good, don't they?
Oh, they last for years.
And what kind of colors are available out there other than the
I
yellow?
have some inside. I can show you all
Oh,
later.
good.
Let's go over seeing the bush sage.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Okay, let's go this way.
Okay.
Again. Another thing is your grasses. These are great. This is a seed-grown grass.
Oh.
A penstemon that I've had for years, and those dry really nice.
Yes, use those in arrangements and all sorts of things.
The burgundy looking hibiscus, that is good for pressing.
Ooh.
See, it's fallen over also, but it is really good plant for pressing.
Look at those leaves. And you're right, they have interest, but they're not thick. So that's what you're going for when you're looking for things to press. Look for things that have thinner leaves.
There's a few more coxcombs. These are a shorter variety, and it looks like they're not doing so good right now, but
But they're a beautiful
you
color.
can still cut them. And then I've got one that reseeded in the middle. That's a white one. I haven't had it in years.
Just popped up on its own right there, folks. Nature's glory. Oh, we've got some collection already going on here, folks.
This is my sagebush or bush sage, and this is the purple variety. It is quite large, and it would have been a lot larger, but I had a tree come down right here.
Yes, right on top. Let me get up close so y'all can see the fuzziness.
These are one of the easiest to dry. They have an almost grape smell to them. Smell of them.
I wish I had smell-o-vision for y'all.
They're one of my favorites.
Look how pretty.
One of my favorites. They look like velvet.
I'm trying to get up close so y'all can see that neat, velvety, fuzzy texture that they have. And dark purple.
They dry very easy. Very easy.
Got to be careful with them. I dried some of these last year. You let me cut some. And they were gorgeous. But then I wasn't careful with them. And then they all got, broken and fell off. So, so pretty, y'all. So that's Mexican bush sage. Oh, just some other things just to show how pretty they are in the fall garden right now is this aster. Look how beautiful in a full bloom. So pretty. All right. Where are we going next, Miss Susan?
We can go in or we can go. There's really not a lot to dry over there.
Okay.
There are some things that we can press.
Okay, let's go take a look at them.
But they are really kind of not looking good now. You know, they're kind of past.
Right.
They're
Right.
Cosmos,
Okay.
they are the, you showed them many times.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just about all gone to seed, which we can collect and share if anybody needs any.
That's right. Let's share. Share and share alike. All right, so we're going to go and look at some of Miss Susan's things that she's dried and just talk about how she goes about doing it. Look how beautiful, y'all.
I'm still working on this one because as it dries, they get smaller.
Okay.
And I'll pick, they're tied up with a rubber band and I can just add a few more plants in.
See, we've got the rubber band there. Put a pretty fall bow on there.
This is Sweet Annie. It's in the Artemisia family.
Yes.
It has a wonderful fragrance. It is blown over also, but so you can smell it.
I love the smell of that. Even just your common Artemisia kind of has a little bit of that smell, but that Sweet Annie is so much more fragrant. And so look, we're getting like an active floral display out of this while it's drying. Mm-hmm. So we're enjoying it right now, and then we're also going to be able to repurpose it and keep it for next year.
Well, maybe some of the flowers.
Some of the flowers using something else, maybe.
The Sweet Annie will not. I'll probably break off the flowers that are pretty and maybe make potpourri with them.
And look, here's some of those grass.
Some of that grass out there. Mm-hmm.
So beautiful. Okay. I'll follow you. When we went inside, but I still want to share with y'all these really cool crafts that Susan has made with her dried flowers and tell you a little bit about how she goes about doing it. So since I can't get service inside the house, I'm just going to record it and then I'll post that recording here on the Facebook page later this afternoon. Okay, we'll see y'all later. Bye. All right, folks, we made it back inside Miss Susan's house, and so we're going to highlight some of these awesome crafts that she uses her mini dried plants for. Will you tell us some about these wreaths right here, Miss Susan?
This is your common Artemisia, Silver King or Silver Queen, either one of them. I can't tell them apart really. And they dry so well. I made these last year. And they still look good.
They do, and they're still soft. They're not brittle. Like some things, once they dry, they get really brittle and will just crumble apart. But these still have a lot of flexibility to them. Look, those seed heads aren't even falling off when I rub on them.
And they're just on an old wreath that I made from Silver King, Silver Queen.
Oh, like in the past.
And I just added it on top.
Fluffed it up and made it a little more.
Right.
Oh, pretty. So
Don't throw
pretty.
away anything.
Just reuse and recycle.
I also have a few things drying over here because this is a good dark corner.
Oh my goodness.
Some larkspur.
Look how well that larkspur has held its color, y'all. Mm-hmm. Nothing has been done to these other than just cut,
wrap them with a rubber band, and I take a paper clip and get it apart, and then you can just catch that paper clip. And I have some little nails that are in the side of this cabinet. I also have another little drying rack I'll show you. I can't get it back on right now.
And then just
but I have a few things.
Hang it from there. Mm-hmm. Cool. Oh look, we also have some
alliums.
Alliums drying.
Alliums dry very well. Some tansy.
Oh, pretty.
This is easy though. Lime green one.
And what about that hydrangea right there?
That one I have purple. It's older, and I have added a little spray to it to make it pretty.
Okay, I wondered about that, if it had retained some color, if that had been added on. So do you just use like a little bit of spray paint from a distance? And
And I have tried different ones, and I can't tell a lot of difference. I tried to get the Design Master, which is for florals, and that's what that one is sprayed with, but I can't tell any difference, really.
Now, did you spray it with kind of a mixture of
I
blue and then also a little bit of purpley pink?
I did. It's 2 different colors.
I like that because in nature, I mean, we so often in the macrophylla hydrangeas, we'll see blooms that have the multicolor on there. And so I just feel like that makes it look more authentic.
I'm going to carry that in there.
All right. Ooh, pretty. That's Gomphrena.
This is Fireworks. It's very pretty. It's still drying, you can tell, because I just cut it a few days ago. But it dries well, but it will come apart more.
Okay.
So it's one that's real delicate, but still got pretty beautiful color.
Another area of Miss Susan's house where she does a lot of her drying crafts. And what do we have here? This is a neat stand.
This is my little drying rack stand that I have had for several years, and it's just really easy. You know, I don't even have to put anything on them if I catch it that way. But usually I do. I usually do my usual method with the rubber bands and the paper clip. And just, I can even have a little glass hanging
Oh,
there.
that's nice because then you get more, you've got more hanging spots.
Right. And I have a basket. These are Chinese lanterns, a seed-grown perennial.
Oh my goodness, y'all, look at these.
And they look like little pumpkins.
They do. What a perfect little fall craft. My kids would love this. We went to the dollar store and they wanted me to buy them a little bag of miniature skeleton heads. And I said, no, thank you. But I would definitely grow them this lantern plant and let them have these sweet little pumpkins laying around the house. Look how cute that is.
This is a rose. And I have mixed results with roses. They just sometimes turn yellow on me. But this one, for some reason, has done very well.
Tell it's colored good.
And that's just some St. John's wort.
Neat.
From, I guess, when we did our vase, did our vase decorating.
Yep.
That I dried. Plenty of the same things I had out there. This is that other blue salvia that's I don't know the name of it, but it's a mixture of, and it has dried. Lots of the salvias dry well. There's also some poppy pods here. That's how I dry my poppy pods.
Oh, let me
And
get
then
it
it
closer.
catches all my seed.
Oh, yes.
And it looks kind of cute that way.
It does look cute. Look at those seeds down there in the bottom, guys. So that's doing double duty for us. And these sweet, sweet little
This is
ornamental
Frosted
grass.
Explosion, a seed-grown grass, and it comes up everywhere in the spring for me. And it's just so cute, I think.
It is, and it looks like a fine, fine ponytail. So pretty.
I have Nigella pods up here to show you. This is this year's Love in a Mist Nigella. And they come in blue, white, and pink. Most of mine are blue and white. The pink is not as hardy, I guess. But when I turn this upside down, you see what comes out, see seeds.
Oh, yay. And the blooms are so sweet and delicate, but really those
yes.
pods are what it's all about for me anyway.
And these are some of my pressing, my pictures that I
Look
have
how
pressed.
pretty.
And Celeste, do you remember when I asked you what that weed was in that little yellow
I do.
flower? It's wild buttercups.
Yes, these are
They're
wild
tiny,
buttercups.
and they press so well.
With some little fern fronds. So things that you might not even be thinking about harvesting. Just look out in your garden or in the lawn even. Just
Yes.
weeds that are popping up can do really well with drying.
And that's
Oh,
the
look at
type
this
of
one.
Queen Anne's lace, not the regular type that we see a lot. And then I put some hydrangea blooms above it, and they look like butterflies.
They do. Look, the sweet little butterflies. Now, was it hard to get this flower umbel to like lay out, like splay out how you want it when you're getting ready to press
You
it?
do have to work with them.
Okay.
You do need to use both hands and press, and then maybe lift it up and see what you've done and rearrange a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's not like you just shut the book and then don't
No.
look at it again. Hope it turned out right. This has some planning in it. And this is the Artemisia again,
That's
right?
the one I got, like you used to have.
Yes.
I don't remember the name.
I think that was the Silver King, and it
No,
went.
this was the
No.
another one. It's that all of it's like that.
Oh, okay.
It ran rapid in your yard.
Oh, I do remember it. It was rampant.
Mhm. This is bougainvillea, and this is from a vacation. I thought it would be cool to take some flowers from my vacation and press them and put them on some pretty paper in a pretty frame.
Oh, it is so
And
pretty.
bougainvillea is holding its color very well.
It is. Look at that dark maroon. And so, you know, we can grow bougainvillea here just as a tropical plant. You would probably only be, you know, keeping it out by your pool or on your patio during the summer months. But yeah, definitely down in those more southern states, they've had them growing perennial everywhere. So beautiful.
Another little
Look how pretty.
I sprayed that one gold.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. All by itself, it's making such a statement. It's like a little fireworks.
Mhm.
So beautiful.
And then some of my wheat in a little bundle and tied up, and that actually is probably 5 years old.
Really?
I pack it very carefully and reuse it, and it's just about met its match. It's falling a lot and scatters on the table, but it's still pretty.
It is still pretty.
And then a fern, and a fern is always pretty, and that one had a lot of little different colorations.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that must be the autumn fern.
Oh, it's
And it
beautiful.
it was a pretty shape, everything about it, and I did kind of make it do that.
But you have such an eye for it when you're out in your garden. I just feel like you make the proper selections.
Well, you have to kind of work with them. And I have also dried gourds.
Ooh.
That's a bowl gourd, and some of these I grew, and some of them I did not.
And so this gourd, did you paint it this color?
I painted it so it looks like a pumpkin.
It does look like a cute pumpkin. Look, y'all, that is so cool.
And then I have done what Rita Randolph made this famous,
Okay.
where she decorated pumpkins with all kinds of things from the yard. Well, this is another one of my gourds, and I just put it on a little piece of either a paper plate or some sheet moss or something.
Okay.
And I've saved this, and I just take out the bad parts and put in new ones.
Oh, just refresh it
Yes.
from year to year and lay it back on top
This
of your
one-
gourd.
Is actually glued down, which you can do, but they're easy to make. Just put you some little moss on a paper plate or sheet moss, and add all your plants and pick your pretty ones. See, those are large.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, this is something we haven't talked about yet, and one of my favorites, money plant.
Oh yeah, I've got a money plant.
We've got to show one of those. Oh wait, there's some right there.
Yeah, and I've got a big one.
Oh yes, we'll look at that in a second.
This is one I just did. I saw this on Pinterest where you did a lot of mixed ferns, and so I just found what would fit my sheet of paper and did it. And look, this is an older one that I pressed, and it's kind of turned rusty,
I love it.
and I love that.
I do too. The different colors and textures of all those ferns together. And making sure, I mean, I'm sure that we could do some other things where they overlap, but I feel like the negative space around them makes each of them stand out. So you can really see what they look like individually.
Rabbit's foot fern is a very good one because it's a thin, but yet it's still got a little stiffness.
Mm-hmm.
Autumn fern outside, brilliance autumn fern. Oh, you can't beat it.
So cute. Oh, look, I bypassed this.
Yeah.
What about this? Y'all can see me in the background.
Blackberry lily.
Cool.
They look
Oh,
like blackberries.
they do. And y'all, these are the little seeds.
They just, you know, Jason went out and got at our decorating,
Mm-hmm.
what are arrangements?
Yes.
What do you call that?
Well, we had an arrangement workshop
Right.
where we made arrangements and then donated those to
He
the
brought in the green pots.
nursing homes. Yes.
This is what happens if you leave them on the plant.
So here I'm trying to focus it in so people can see. So this right here used to kind of be like a covering, like a really fine papery covering over those. They're lime greeny kind of colored. So they look really neat in arrangements. And then as they age, those pods split open and then expose these little black seeds on the inside, which look like blackberries.
And the flower itself is a beautiful flower, and they press.
Oh, I've never tried to press one, but they are sweet little blooms.
Mm-hmm.
They almost look like orchids, but they're just a really small lily.
Mm-hmm.
There's the seed. I poked one off for y'all.
There's another little, that is our verbena on a stick,
Okay.
pressed with a little grass with a different background, and it just made it pop, I think.
So pretty. See, I would have never thought of changing the backgrounds. Like, I would have just, you know what I mean? Just use a white piece of paper. But I love how you've used different colors and even that textured one over there that was kind of shiny.
I'm experimenting right now with the different papers to see which ones work, and I think anything would work, really.
Oh, here is the money plant. Look how beautiful and iridescent those seed pods are, y'all. So, Miss Susan, can you tell us about how to grow a money plant and just how easy it is?
It is a biennial. Throw the seeds out right now.
Okay.
They will make a little plant, and then next year they will bloom.
Okay.
If they do not make their plant, if they do not germinate this year, they might next year.
Okay.
So then your flower would be the year
The
after
following year.
So you kind of get some of both. Some years you'll think, oh, I didn't throw all these seeds out, and I've got a lot. And then the next year, well, I don't have half as many as the year before.
So this is one of those plants where it would be really important to go ahead and get the seeds out early. Like, I'm such a procrastinator. I feel like I always forget to seed my larkspur in the fall when it would be ideal to do it. But this one really needs to be seeded about now.
Larkspur you could seed probably a little easier next early March, because they germinate even in early spring.
And these little pods, I just wanted y'all to know, they've already, I guess, split. And so the seeds have fallen out.
I separated them.
Oh, you did? Okay.
You take they look really ugly when you bring them in. That's what this is right here. This is a demonstration.
Oh, good. We'll use
Here,
this one
put
for
it on
demo. We'll go for the
something hard.
sunshine so we'll get a good light here.
Put it on something white. I'm working on something here. See how ugly that looks?
Yes.
All you've got to do.
Look at that. And then it leaves the
See.
pretty side, the shiny side.
It's really easy. It's kind of fun to do, I think.
I feel like it would be really satisfying.
And then
Oh, look,
it's
y'all. See, if Miss Susan had not told me that, I would never have known how to get those little seeds out of there. What
that's
a neat little trick.
a little stain. A little stain won't hurt.
No. And then here's your seeds.
And I was going to talk a little bit about what presses well.
Oh, good.
This is a fuchsia. And, you know, fuchsia's hard for us to grow.
Yeah.
And that is a purple and pink one. And it kind of died back, and it's starting to come back out in my pot outside. So I'm going to get a few more because that one dried very well.
It did. It's. I love how you can still see that dark purple on the edge of it. Even if the pink faded a bit, the purple really brings the rest of it out.
And that's just my blue larkspur and just some ferns that I'm kind of working on to see how that looks.
So y'all, larkspur is so versatile. We can use it for just hanging upside down and drying, and it retains its color. It also does well being pressed and retaining its color. And this is not a hobby for people who are impatient, I would feel like.
Yeah, you kind of need some tools and a little bit of strength. Like I needed always to cut little bitty pieces off, like that stem maybe wasn't as pretty.
Okay.
So I found me some little bitty, these are embroidery scissors.
Oh, good idea.
Some people use tweezers. I very little use a tweezer. I use my fingernails more. And I've tried different glues. And if you look on Pinterest at all the different kinds, they say regular Elmer's glue. I've even seen the glue sticks. I had no luck with the glue sticks. The glue sticks will not make your paper wrinkle from the wetness.
Okay.
This sticky tacky glue, Aleene's sticky tacky glue, has worked better, it seems like, for me.
Okay.
And it's even better. I put it in this little jar right here. See my little jar? I just squirt me some in that. And I let it set a little bit so that it does dry. And then I take it, this is just my paintbrush that's broke. And I lift up my flowers. And I sit here and go, dot, dot.
Oh, so you're not trying to
dot,
brush on them, because that's what I was
dot,
wondering. Wouldn't the brushing damage the blooms?
It can. Just
So
little
just
dots.
doing
A toothpick
dots.
would work, or a chopstick, anything. This is just what I had and what worked. And then I kind of can use this, like, say for instance, it wasn't laying down real good, or a little glue got out, I can kind of scratch it off and then
Flip it around and use the side that that didn't have the glue on it. It's a multi-use pen.
Well, how do you press?
That's a good question. So I traditionally, like when I was younger, I remember I got into pressing for a little minute. And younger, I'm talking like high school, y'all. And I just used these big encyclopedias that no one ever used in my house. And also, I, for some reason, I don't know where I picked this up from, because that was before we had Pinterest and all these, cool things on the internet. I actually didn't even have a computer at my house at that time. I was pressing them in between wax paper, but I was talking to you a week or so ago and realized that might not always be the proper thing to use.
Something that doesn't have that sheen is a better paper.
Okay.
And I'm just going to show you what I use. Look, this is my old Sunday school books. They have nice little paper.
Oh, they do. Like the pages feel like newspaper, except a little thicker. And
things press in here real well. I don't have to worry about them. I have also, I had something I was trying to press recently. Y'all laugh at this. This is what I pulled out. Coloring books. Well, This is a $1 book, and I was needing something to press dog fennel. That's an old plant.
So pretty. Well, let me tell you a funny thing that I did. I had some of this coming up in my cut flower garden, and I thought that it was cosmos coming up from seed. So I dug them up and planted them in a row before I tilled the area to plant new seeds. And it was dog fennel. And I was like, oh my God. I kept waiting for it to bloom and waiting for it to bloom. And finally I realized, well, Celeste, you just saved some dog fennel.
This is the old traditional way. Use your phone book.
Phone book. If you can find a phone book anymore, I don't even know if they have
we
them.
don't have many. These are blowing out as I'm flipping pages. But phone book paper is really good. You see this one has a lot of hydrangea. There's one of my...
Oh, yes. That
And this
hibiscus
is an
leaf you were
older
telling
one.
us about.
This is an older one right here. So it's kind of lost its color some. Just some leaves.
You never know when you'll need something to be a background for something else.
Got this in the mail the other day.
Oh.
I needed something. I cut some philodendrons, and I thought, I'm going to see if they'll press.
Yeah.
And this was kind of papery, not
And
sheen.
those leaves are a little thicker. They might just take longer to dry.
And I thought that would make a real cool picture. In fact, I may even replace that a little bit.
There we go.
And another thing, you need something heavy.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
This is my heavy book. Jean Webster gave me
Let me see.
this.
Oh, it is heavy.
Yeah. She gave me this book before I went to Arizona. And it is the perfect book to set heavy on top. And you can even set other things on top. I put plants on my flower pots.
Good idea, good idea.
I've got a lot of other books that are heavy I can put on top. But anything that you put in these books, if you put, okay, these are slick pages.
Okay.
This is what you do if you have a slick paged book.
You just use some
Notebook paper.
Notebook paper. Okay.
Or craft paper.
Okay.
Or copy paper.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's not slick.
Something
Newspaper.
that's breathable, right?
Yes, yes.
So yes.
Yes. And that there again is my autumn fern. It's got some pretty color in
It
it.
does have pretty.
But you put it between. And also, a few big books are helpful for when you need a long stem or a pretty, you know, you want to keep that stem. I don't know what I've got right here.
Oh.
These are my colored Doras, which is a Queen Anne's lace. It is the same Latin name, but these are chocolate color. These are chocolate, and I have some that are pink also.
I think it's what, Daucus carota, maybe. Oh, they're so pretty, y'all.
Aren't they cool? But I might want to make a really long. I thought that would be cute in a long frame.
So pretty.
Look, some of my kids wrote on it.
So when I was in college, I had a botany class where we had to go out and collect flowering plants and make a botanical display of each of those. And I had to use a large version of this press here. And basically, well, mine was not pretty like this one, like this one was, but it was essentially 2 pieces of wood. And then I had several layers of cardboard and a strap that went around it. And I would just winch that strap down until it was super, super tight. And that's what created the pressure. And I would create layers in between those cardboards. But they have some really neat, cute, smaller versions that not only will be useful, but you could use almost as decoration in your...
These are cute. But you see how long it takes.
It does, yes.
It takes so long to get it apart.
So, but I like this because you don't have to worry about having something else heavy to put on it. You can just tighten those wing nuts until they're tight.
And as they dry, you can tighten them more. So these are good for, like, if you were pressing a whole rose.
Okay.
And you wanted to get that really pressed down flat, you would tighten it gradually and put it in here, and you could keep it tight and it would be flatter. Like I haven't had a lot of luck with roses. Rose petals are better, or if you're drying, I like the little buds. The little buds dry prettier.
Okay.
Before they're fully open.
And you know,
That's
okay. And there are some other methods out there that I have yet to experiment with, but I know there are some folks who are drying things in glycerin, and they actually retain their suppleness. So they basically look like a fresh flower, but really they're dried.
That's really better for foliage.
Okay.
You used to could buy preserved cedar. And it was glycerin dried, and it would stay soft and not prickly, but it's kind of hard to do that, and it's a little expensive.
Oh yeah.
And I don't get as good a look. I don't get buying it is cheaper and more perfect.
Right. Exactly.
This is the inside of a drying. What do you call it? I don't know.
Just a press, a flower press or leaf
and
press.
see, they have some little paper. So you put your flower here. That won't fit. Put another one on top, and then your cardboard. The only thing about that cardboard, you're going to get some little lines.
Oh, yeah. I see that for the corrugation.
And you could do it with another material. Maybe poster board, thick, or something, cardstock. You know, there's other things you could use, but that's to me, this is for your thicker flowers that do not press as well in the books.
In the books.
I tend to try to do ones that do well in the books. Also, I have, these are lavender wands. I have lavender. You know, lavender is said to be hard to grow for us.
But if you get the right cultivar and if you get it in the right growing condition, you can be a happy lavender lover.
Yeah. The lavender I prefer is Grasso or Provence, and
Okay.
they're long stems. The types that Jason had at his sale are short stems, and they won't make these as pretty.
Okay.
But they will dry,
Oh, yes.
and they will dry and smell good, you know. So I'm not putting down what Jason has, and those are tried and true and grow well.
Right.
The type I have to work at.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be in good air circulation. It probably doesn't need completely full sun. And it needs to have some gravel added to the ground.
Really, really sharp drainage.
In the first year, you're going to need to water that a lot to get it established. And then after about 3 years, they're woody and get ugly, and they have some dieback. And you can propagate that by layering,
Oh, okay.
and then start you a new plant.
I have some right now that's kind of woody, and I was wondering that. I was like, well, the plant is still doing good, but it's woody.
I have researched a lot on that, and one person will say, do not cut into that woody growth. And the next one said, well, if you've got some new growth coming from the ground, cut some of that woody growth out. Keep it trimmed a little bit. I'm still working on that. I just usually propagate it. And
So if we could get enough folks growing some long-stemmed lavender and get some that are cut good and long and dried up, we could have a lavender wine making class. That would be fun, but we got to have the product. So, oh, and then I wanted to show, as we were talking about pressing, I saw these sitting here. Is that sea thistle
that is from
my plant? Oh, good.
From the arranging seminar you had, and
Oh, good.
I dried those.
Pretty. Look how neat those look in
They do
arrangement.
not grow well for us.
Oh, look. How Miss...
Oh,
Isn't
these
that
are pumpkin peppers.
Oh, my goodness.
Ordered seeds, and I thought, oh, that could just be the cutest thing. These are several years old. And I have not painted them. They're hard shell.
They are hard. That's what I was going to test out. I was afraid to touch them. But
And
no, they're hard.
I looked for a source of them this year, and the place I got them did not have
Didn't
them.
have them. Did they grow orange?
They start out green and gradually, just like a pumpkin.
Oh, okay.
But they are a pepper.
Okay, right, yeah.
And they grow like a pepper. And I mean, 2 plants gave me a lot.
That is so cool. And what do we have here?
That's some potpourri. And I have even dried oranges. I set them on
How do you do it without them rotten?
a wire rack.
Okay.
We usually get several fruit baskets given to us at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
And I set them in my sun porch and on the wire rack. Now that's a little gourd.
I see.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
But fruit, you can sit out on that, and then, you know, in about 6 months, they'll dry.
Yeah, they're dry.
And the best thing as a fixative for if you want to make potpourri with a scent,
Mm-hmm.
this is one I have, is a corn cob.
Oh, you spray it on the... Oh, okay.
Just spray, because this is going to be sticky. Feel how sticky that is, Celeste.
Yeah, that's
I
sticky.
sprayed that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I had it out. This one, I just sprayed a little bit on that.
And it'll
And
just
that-
absorb it.
And that'll
hold
be
the scent.
your scent.
Oh, that's so neat. So look at all the things. She's got some small florets off of a hydrangea. We've got a poppy seed pod, poppy flower pod, one of the Chinese lanterns, some of those pumpkin peppers, and this is a itty bitty teeny tiny
Those
gourd.
are Jason's. Jason, you remember when he gave those away?
I do not, but I wish I did.
Well, we bought them. He sold them at maybe the fall sale one year, and you could get them I don't know, he gave us a lot for little and nothing. And they last for years and years and years.
This little star-shaped seed pod, what did this come
That is another
from?
type of Nigella that I have.
Oh, okay.
The flower on it is not so pretty, but boy, is the little pod's cute.
They
Here's
are
some more
adorable.
gourds.
They remind me of those little star-shaped chocolates. Oh, you can play with them like little spinning tops.
The kids, I let my grandkids play with those.
Fun. All right, so here we have a compilation of just different types of leaves mixed together. That's probably, is that hibiscus we were talking about earlier?
That was, and this one is a red maple. Guess what that one is?
I can't tell. What is it?
Cotton.
Cotton leaves. Neat.
And I'm not sure what that one is right there, but it was pretty.
And this, y'all, we featured this plant outside. This is that Mexican bush sage that had the fuzzy dark purple flower head on it. Look how well it is dried and held up. And this is from last year.
This is last year's. It has faded. It has faded, but it's still an attractive plant.
It is. Oh, this is one we haven't talked about today yet. This yarrow.
And those are the tall yarras. I can't remember what names they are right off the top of my head. That is one that's seed grown that I don't have anymore. But you can buy those yards that have those
Long, upright, flowering heads. Yeah, the ones I have right now, they're real short, and I feel like they just kind of like flop over. That wouldn't be the ones to target for this. But look how beautiful those strong stems hold up.
And this is another little plant we didn't talk about. That is, it's called Everlasting also, but it's one I ordered from seed. And these little white ones, there's just all kinds you can order from seeds.
And they have that straw feel to them as well.
They're a little more difficult to grow.
And you can see here how, Susan was talking about how she preferred to dry the small roses or the buds even before they fully open. You can tell how well they've done here. Neat. And then one more to top us off today. Look at this wreath, y'all.
This is 3 years old this year, and it really needs some color added to it.
These are hydrangea blooms, y'all. Look how beautiful.
They've lost their color, but we could add a little color to that.
Yeah, I like the natural look, and with the decorating trends lately, I feel like everything's going towards neutrals.
That's true.
You could definitely give it a little spark if you wanted to use it for a holiday wreath. How did you attach these?
This is a straw wreath, and I used the pins to pin the stems into the straw wreath.
Okay.
So I can basically tear that off and
reuse
redo it. You can hot glue. Hot glue doesn't last as long as that metal pin.
And hot glue burns my fingers. I'd prefer the pen. Y'all, there is so much more. We could go on and on, but I do want to say thank you again to Miss Susan for letting us tour around. We've had such a great time. Well, we have had so much fun with you today, Miss Susan. Thank you so much for taking us around your garden and your home and showing us your neat crafts and educating us on how to dry flowers and press flowers, some neat tips and tricks. And we look forward to doing it again.
Okay.
Thank you.
I love sharing how I do things.
Good.
I do.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.